are. Maybe this may be your favorite destination to travel to, but not your favorite destination to live. Another thing to consider about the culture and the environment of the city is the fact that, are you looking to start a family? Do you want to settle down? The cost of living is so high here, it's impossible to, pretty much buy a house in this economy, or even, get enough space that you would need to start a family or to raise your kids. So that's another thing to consider, that if this really works for you. Hi guys, my name is Cheyenne, also known as Cheyennetheblogger, and I'm so happy to have you guys here at my island with me for Palates and Perspectives, where we eat and we have dinner conversations about different topics. Today, we're gonna talk about the things that you should definitely consider before moving to Miami, and why sometimes I tell people, do not move to Miami. So today for Palates and Perspectives is actually lunch that we're doing today, and we have Smash Bros, which are smash burgers. If you're not on the trend with smash burgers, let me tell you, they are so good. Like, they definitely changed my mind on what a burger should be. So good. So I'm a potato girl. I love the fries. So I have my fries, I have my burger. I'm gonna give you guys a little close up so you can see my burger. So good. And I also got some truffle sauce on the side. And I have a sparkling water. Not that this is going to bring down the calories for this whole lunch, but So just to start off with number one of why I say do not move to Miami, or what you really need to consider before moving here. Everyone loves to party. They love the energy of the city. They love the beach. They love the warm weather. There's so many reasons to love Miami. So why would you not want to move here? Now, the biggest thing that I've learned since being here is that it's okay to stay home. And if you are someone that you have a lot of FOMO, you do not like to miss out on the action, it is extremely hard to live in a city where it's something always going on. You kind of want to stay in the loop because you feel like, oh, well, I'm always gonna get a new opportunity. And while yes, you definitely will get more opportunities the more that people know who you are, it can get distracted. And you can also put yourself in a position where now you feel off balance, you feel tired, you don't understand why you're, especially with money, you don't know where your money's going, but it's like those Ubers, that parking, the gas, all of those things add up. And sometimes people don't tell you, it's okay to stay home. It's okay to miss out on those major events. It's okay to miss out on the concerts. It's okay to miss out on the nightlife. Like, you have to have it within yourself to say, enough is enough for me, or I'm gonna take this weekend or the month off, or you have to have that. And that is why I say do not move to Miami if you're not ready to kind of have those boundaries within yourself. It's kind of like a me versus me thing, having those boundaries within yourself, but then also with friends, because it's easy to be peer pressure to be like, oh my God, you're not going out, why not? So that is definitely number one of why I say do not move to Miami, or what you should consider if you do move to Miami. Number two, it is not what you know or who you know. You can have all the degrees in the world. You can have all the experience from top to bottom. But in just like other major cities, Miami, it is all about who you know. Who you know will get you into the door. Who you know will tell you about what opportunities there are in the city. And a lot of times, you may go on Indeed, or you may go, to a job casting or calling and wonder, why am I not hearing anything? Why don't I know what's going on? I didn't know that this opportunity was here. I didn't know that this position was available. But it's because this city is really about referrals. Like, that's what really thrives. It's about someone vouching for you to say, hey, she's qualified to model for your campaign. He's qualified to be your videographer for this event. So that is something that if you struggle with, if you're introverted and you typically have your small group of friends, you don't really like to go to networking events, that is something to consider moving here, because you want to know if you're going to thrive in the city and if your career is going to grow, because that's difficult. It's extremely difficult to move to a new city. It's so expensive. The cost of living is out of this world. And to come here and not utilize all of the things that you would need to succeed, it's like, is it really worth it? So definitely want to consider that. So for number three, you have to think about the fact that, does the city really align with who you are? Because a lot of times we kind of fall into the trap of following what's trending. Miami's the hot spot, it's the place to be, there's always something going on. I love the warm weather, I love the beach, I love the events, I love just everything, But the reality of it is like, does it really align with who you are? How often do you go out to party? How often do you really want to go to events? How often do you enjoy lavish shopping? If you're someone that likes to be connected to like parks and nature, and not that this city doesn't have that, because we do have parks, we do have those sort of quiet moments, but that's not necessarily the heart of the city. So that's something to consider, because it's okay for it to not align with who you are. Maybe this may be your favorite destination to travel to, but not your favorite destination to live. Another thing to consider about the culture and the environment of the city is the fact that, are you looking to start a family? Do you want to settle down? The cost of living is so high here, it's impossible to, pretty much buy a house in this economy, or even, get enough space that you would need to start a family or to raise your kids. So that's another thing to consider, that if this really works for you, because if you're someone that, I'm single, I want to go out, I want to be pushed to meet people, then it may align with where your life is right now. But if you're looking to settle down and you're looking to start a family, or you already have a family and they're young or they're older, like those are things to consider of how that would fit in your family dynamics and in your personal life before you make that whole big move and decide, okay, I'm going to Miami. Number 4 is luxury comes with a big price tag. Now, it's like, we know that, Shine, you don't need to tell us that, obviously. But I think that people underestimate what's considered luxury. That Pilates class, that meditation, that yoga, your daily hobbies that you would do in your life are now going to be a lot more expensive than it would have been probably in the city that you're living in, because Miami is such a hot spot. In addition, it's also considering dining. Because it's such a travel destination, a lot of the restaurants, the prices are going to be higher. You're going to pay, probably $3, $4, maybe $5, $6 more on a margarita or a cocktail, because it's a travel destination. Like, this is a huge destination where people come to vacation. So when you want to go out on a regular Tuesday for, food or drinks, or it's your birthday or something like that, you may be paying that vacation price. Versus in another city, it's like, oh my God, this would never be that price. So that's something to consider, is the fact that the things that may not necessarily be luxury is considered luxury here. So that price tag is going to fit that luxury bill, if you get what I mean. Number 5, and last but not least, every neighborhood has its own vibe. So the energy and aesthetic of Brickell is going to be completely different than Wynwood. And the energy of Wynwood is going to be completely different from Coral Gables. So when you are looking to move here and you're thinking about what neighborhood you want to be in, I would definitely say to come maybe 2-3 times during the year and experience each neighborhood, so that way you get a better feel of what fits you. If you want to be someplace where, it's not as fast paced, or if you want to be somewhere where, the trolley's running and public transportation is easier to get to. Those are things to consider, especially because this is your day-to-day life. So what you do on vacation for about a week or a few days is going to be a completely different experience than waking up every morning, having to go to work, or having to grocery shop, or having to, just do, again, those little hobbies and different things like that. Like, how does that neighborhood fit into your life and your personality? So that's something to consider. And again, traffic is a lifestyle here. So if you choose to live in a city like Brickell that's really busy and it's walking distance to restaurants, a lot of people are coming to that particular neighborhood because they want those restaurants. They want the things that are in that particular area. So you're gonna deal with a lot more traffic versus people that are living probably in Broward or Coral Springs, because it's a little bit slower. Not as much people are rushing to get there. So those are things that I would definitely consider. Just understanding that each neighborhood has its own vibe, its own aesthetic. Wynwood is very artsy. Downtown Miami is where the arena is, and Bayfront Park. So it's a little bit more things to do if you're a runner, or if you're someone that likes to go outside and take your dog for long walks. That neighborhood may be a better fit for you. Versus Brickell is very sexy, it's cute, it's sleek, but it's also someplace that is very city. So if you don't really like to be in the midst of all of the excitement, that may not be your place. So if you are interested in moving to Miami, and I will admit, because I didn't say this, but I love living here. This is literally like the best destination. I feel like even when I travel, I can still feel a bit of excitement and happiness in my heart coming back home, because it's like, I love where I live. You know, I don't have to vacation always or travel and leave to feel happiness or to be happy. It's like, I feel happy where I live. So I will say that. But I wanted to make this video because I wanted people to see other things and consider other factors if they are moving to Miami, and if it aligns with them, if it really works. So if you are a local, comment down below your thoughts on this video and the topics that were brought up. If you are someone that is interested or thinking about moving to Miami, you can comment down below and let me know any questions you may have, and I'll be glad to answer them in the comments. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos and Palates Perspectives. I cannot wait to have you guys at my dinner table again next week.